You might not believe me, but I almost died that night. And it all started with something completely harmless. Just a family photo session with my kids, Jack and Isabella. So, for our holiday card this year, I figured, let's get a pro. Janice, the photographer, was warm, patient, perfect with them. Everything went smoothly. They never smiled at the same time, ever. It was like some cursed version of the uncertainty principle. We booked a session at the edge of a wooded park near our house. The lighting was beautiful. The kids laughed and hugged. I even started tearing up, until I saw it. One particular photo. Isabella had her arm raised, hand resting on her own shoulder. But right underneath her hand was another hand. But then ... the photos came back. At first, they looked amazing. I called Frank over. Doesn't it look like there are two hands here? Maybe she tried adding Jack's arm and forgot to erase something. He squinted. One's hers, the other must be Jack's. I pointed at Jack's arms, which were clearly hanging at his sides. He hadn't touched her in that shot. He had refused to. Both smiling, but over his fingers, there were two more. Delicate, pale fingers resting gently on top of his. So what was that hand? Accused her of using AI. Yelled more than I should have. PLEA says it please. Don't leave a review. I'll prove it to you. It wasn't a child's hand. It was longer, bigger. The skin dry, almost gray. Fingers too thin. Autocorrects, even when you don't want it to. Frank laughed it off. Probably a Photoshop mistake. But something about that hand felt wrong. I think she'd seen something too, but couldn't explain it. Trying to rationalize what I was seeing. But every explanation fell apart. I kept flipping through the photos. Then I saw another one this time. Jack was actually hugging Isabella. Frank, it's there again. He shrugged. Maybe she used AI. Some of those tools glitched like crazy. If she uploaded our kids' faces to some system without asking, that's a massive violation. Her hand was hanging off the side of her bed. My heart sank. She showed us her camera, the raw files, the metadata, the original images. The hands were there. I didn't even wait to calm down. I called Janice. She broke down crying. I didn't do anything, I swear. But when he saw my face, he got down and checked everything. The bed, the closet, Jack's room. An hour later, she was standing in our living room. In all of them. I lay awake for hours, imagining things hiding in the shadows. Hands creeping from closets. Fingers curling up the mattress. Unedited. Not a single layer. Not a single alteration. I wanted to catch her faking something, but she wasn't. Janice looked genuinely horrified. I think, after she left, I couldn't stop looking at those hands. That night, we put the kids to bed. Frank turned on the TV. I couldn't stop thinking about it. An hour later, I went upstairs. That's when I saw it. Isabella was asleep, and from under the bed, another hand was holding hers. A pale, veiny hand, just holding it, like it had always been there. I really can't. Then screamed. I screamed. Flicked the lights on. It vanished. Frank came running. He laughed at first. Thought I was seeing things. Nothing. Still, I couldn't shake it. Eventually, I passed out. Until 3:08 am. I woke up and realized someone was holding my hand. For a second, I smiled. Frank never did that while we slept. Gentle, cold, possessive. But when I turned to look, Frank was facing the other way, hands tucked under his pillow. And yet, something was still holding mine. It wasn't his. The fingers were thin, icy cold, the nails sharp. I froze. The hand yanked itself away, disappearing beneath the covers like it was part of the sheets. We tore the room apart, found nothing. But my palm was bleeding 5 deep scratches, clean and red. I can't do this. I cried to Frank. We called the police. They found no signs of forced entry, no disturbances. I went through our security camera footage. Nothing out of place. Until I saw us coming back home from the park. All four of us walking up to the door. And over my shoulder was a hand, just resting there. But Frank's hands were in his pockets. It didn't belong to anyone. And now, every night, I wake up to that same pressure on my hand. And yesterday, I saw the first red scratch mark on Isabella's palm, too.